Shalom, everyone. This is Hugh. I'm back. Remember to go and get you a copy of the Concealed Insight, The Bloodline Israelites. It's on sale at Amazon. For those of you who want to, definitely who have the spirit to argue and want to show and prove and to destroy those alphabet camps with that bogus 12 tribes chart. You can grab a copy of this book and it will end that discussion for good. Um, One of the things that I want to speak about today is getting started and just maximizing the time that we've been given and that you're given on a daily basis. I'm a living witness to that, and I find myself in the situation where I have to capitalize on the time. I have all of these cameras set up around here, one, two, three cameras and different mics and everything set up around here. I don't know how to use any of it. In fact, I thought that I wanted to make everything perfect. And in my pursuit of perfection, I never got started, wasting the precious time that was given to me. I encourage you to, for those of you who this reaches, whatever your ideas are and whatever your goals are, you need to just start it. Just start. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm speaking to myself because I have never been the one that wanted the spotlight. This is why you guys are now starting to see me on social media. I'm starting this page in order to get the information out there because all I see is lies on a daily basis. There are people who believe in that a white man is going to come from the sky and save black people. I mean, this is just absurd. There are people who believe lots of weird stuff. And I'm here to defend and stand on the principles of the culture that was given to the Hebrews and specifically given to the Israelites because I am an Israelite. I am here to defend all things the God of Abraham and all things Torah in Tanakh. I make a clear distinction between the Greek scriptures because that is not ours. I was having a conversation with someone who said, the Greek scriptures are ours and we wrote it and blah, 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 blah. And I'd like to challenge them on that and say, I'm not convinced that we actually wrote that. I'd like to draw a parallel between the Greek scriptures, and let's just say we did write it, right? Then I would say, okay, let's draw a parallel between the Hebrew writings when we were amongst ourselves and governing ourselves and what we wrote for ourselves versus what we wrote under duress and under the rule of Greco-Roman Empire. Because make no mistakes about it, during the Greek scriptures, it was recorded that Herod was the king in Judea. Now, I like to draw the parallel between hip hop in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s compared to the hip hop you see now. If I would ask anyone over the age of 30 to name me the pioneers of hip hop, you cannot go 5 names without getting KRS-One. We can name Rakim, we can name LL Cool J, we can name several guys that you know that are hip hop, right? And then these guys that I won't name today because I don't want to, this is a sensitive time now and I don't want to hurt their feelings. And furthermore, because I don't know these guys' names, many of them anyway, you compare what's being displayed over the last few years and what's being written now. Would you call that hip hop? No. I know our people are trying to call it hip hop because they don't want to alienate the young people, and I get it. I don't want to alienate them either. I am here. It's my job to clarify for those of the young generation who are seeking truth. It's my job to assist them along that path. The elders don't want to call it or disregard their version of hip hop, and we find this is the same phenomenon that plays out with the Greek scriptures. what we wrote during, or if we wrote the Greek scriptures, we wrote it during a time of duress. Like if you want to call that holy scriptures, I can't arrive at that conclusion with you. One, there's no thus saith the Lord. God is not speaking in the Greek scriptures. It is all commentary by someone else. Versus juxtapose that to the Hebrew scriptures, you got thus saith the Lord, and God is speaking all over the place. This new rap under the serious agenda for homosexuality, bestiality, and all other things that are contrary to what the original hip hop was, the agenda was with hip hop before. You can clearly tell that they're the powers that be, which in the music industry today would have been the Greco-Roman Empire, forcing the Judeans to write them a song. We see that in the book of Chronicles, also in the book of the prophets, where they will say, write us a song. And our people will say, how can we write you a song in a strange land? Right? Our ancestors, everyone wanted to be a part of our culture and wanted us to write something for them. That's no different than what the Greco-Roman Empire did when they wanted us to write them a song. If we wrote it, I'm still not convinced that we actually wrote it. It's just too erroneous. How do we go from thus saith the Lord to the God is one, Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohenu Adonai Echad, God is one, to all of a sudden God being three, and the sin is forgiven, and because of the death of God, and or the Son of God, because you can't even get Christians to agree, is Christ God? Is he the Son of God? Or is he just get them to agree on who he is, right? So when you see this thing play out with this new hip hop, the parallel between this new hip hop versus the original hip hop, you will see that there is a clear distinction between the two, and some would argue that this new stuff is not hip hop at all, because they have controllers or people in control who's demanding the degradation of our society and the destruction of our society through this new hip hop. The same way the Greek scriptures, the mandate to write a new song for the Greek scriptures was to the degradation and the decay and the destruction of the Hebrew culture. So, to tie this all back together, whatever it is that you want to do, no matter what the platform, no matter what the material is, set out and do it. I would encourage you to write it down. This is what works best for me. You write out your goals on a piece of paper to make it tangible. Once it becomes tangible, now it's measurable. Once it's measurable, then you can challenge yourself to follow the steps that's necessary to make it come to fruition. So remember this, write them down, make it tangible when you write it down, and then you have something to measure your steps by when you just simply write down your thoughts and what your goals are and make those thoughts become a reality. So that was the aim of this recording for you. And we can have a follow-up conversation to further clarify, to really part and parcel the parallels between this Greek scriptures versus Hebrew scriptures, and the original hip hop versus this new hip hop. They are, though you can argue that we're the same people who is writing this new stuff, but look at the conditions in which it's not original, it's not authentic, it's agenda based, and it's to our destruction. The Greek scriptures is to our destruction. It's not for us. Period. It goes against everything the God of Abraham mandated for us. Shalom.